again. I'm back, the 39-year-old virgin. Yes, it is me. So I'm speaking to anyone who wants to hear about how it is that I was able to maintain in this, 21st century, my virginity for 39 years. And obviously it was not as easy as, it is not easy, is what I'm trying to say, but it is doable. And so I wanted to encourage anyone who has decided to maintain their virginity. I don't care how old you are. Don't let anyone make you feel as if you are too old or too young, and therefore you should do whatever it is that God has told you not to do. So I have come on to share another reason why I had been able to maintain my virginity for 39 years. And the previous video, if you haven't watched it, talked about me deciding to break generational curses. Well, this video is about me having super strict parents, okay? I honestly, up until the age of, I would say 13, 14, did not have an opportunity. And it's sad to say, but there's a lot of children who are given the opportunity very young to have sex, to be able to go to friends' houses and sleepovers, and whether it is to have people molest them, God forbid, and it's not even their own will. And that's the other thing too. As I talk about, maintaining my virginity, I have to be conscious that there are young women and young men out here who have not willfully given up their virginity, but it was taken from them. And so I had super strict parents who did not allow me to have any sleepovers ever, or even have anyone come to my house to sleep over. And I'm not gonna lie, I hated it, guys. I hated it. And I used to ask myself, why is it I was born in such a horribly strict family that I couldn't do what other children did? But I realize now that I'm older, it was for my benefit. So not only was I not given the opportunity to sleep over other people's houses, but I did not have the chance to be anywhere else but school, home, and church. For those Haitians out there who know our saying, l'école, l'église, la caille. L'école is school, l'église is church, la caille is home. Those are the three places I knew, right? So what my parents used to do, this is how strict they were. I was not allowed to play outside. So once school was let out, my parents knew how long it took me to get home from school, okay? Because they walked me the first few times and they noticed how long it took. So they would time me. And if I got home 5, 10, 15 minutes late, I had to bring a note home the next day from wherever I came to explain why it was I was late coming home. And I already knew I was not allowed at friend's house. I was not allowed at the store. I was not allowed anywhere but to walk briskly home, okay? That was what I was permitted to do. And I remember the one time that I came home late, I think it was like 10 minutes late, and I asked, and I arrived home, and my aunt and my grandmother were like, where were you? You're 5 minutes late. And I was like, I was helping my teacher clean the classroom. They're like, well, tomorrow, I need a letter from your teacher, a note indicating and signed by your teacher the reason why, if you were indeed in the classroom helping. So I need them to write a note that they were helping you. And me, at however age I was, I think I was, whatever age I was, maybe 9, because I was raised by my aunt from the age of 8 years old to 14, and then back again when I was in college. And so from that age, I had to go to my teacher and it was like, could you write me a note? So during those young years, I knew exactly what was required of me. But as I grew older, I kind of grew accustomed to the discipline only because I really loved my aunt who was raising me, and I appreciated her for what she had done by taking me from my dad, or from the worst case scenario, returning back to my country. And I didn't want to displease her in any way. So even when I got older, and I moved back in with my dad, where I was given more of an opportunity, I still regarded the lessons and the instructions that my aunt gave me. The one thing my aunt did was, as she instructed me, she also guided me. She gave me reasons why it was important to do the things that I did and how I did them and the consequences behind them. So we always had the talk every birthday, especially after puberty, about how boys can get into your head. And she was like, there's a little spot in your hand. Y'all, I don't even know what spot it is. I don't know if it's even true because I've never had that spot touched. You know what I mean? But anyway, I was afraid of the spot, y'all. And so, like, even as I grew up, I was conscious that I needed to keep my distance from guys, because if I needed the approbation and the respect of my aunt, then I needed to stay within her rules, and I abided by rules, right? Anyway, so I wasn't given the opportunity. Even when I moved in with my dad, he was super strict as well. I had a curfew. I had times where I needed to be home, and if I had after school, I needed to show proof that I was in after school, and I was always scolded if I was late, if I ended up going someplace else that I wasn't supposed to. And so, like, I just had super strict parents. And a lot of times, children with strict parents, I've been told that they rebel after a certain time, but I wasn't that kid because I actually loved my super strict parents. So even when I went off to college for 4 years and then again for 3 years, the love that I felt for my aunt was strong enough that I would not do anything in order to, taint that respect that she had for me, the affection she felt for me, by doing something that would displease her. But in essence, it really started when I was young. So you parents out there, I commend you if you are upholding certain standards and values in your homes. And you young people, if your parents are giving you discipline and they're telling you what to do and not do, please take it into consideration. It's not to hinder you from growing and experiencing the better things in life, but it's really to help you so that you can get to the point where you can enjoy the greater and more wonderful things in life. Because when you are strapped with a child or your reputation is ruined, it is not easy to regain that freedom or that trust or that independence. Okay. So again, my other reason for remaining a virgin is because I had super strict parents and I just needed to adhere to them, right? I did not have parents who were nonchalant and didn't care when I got home and didn't care what I did. They asked me at every step of the way what I was doing, when I was doing it, why I was doing, where I was doing it, all of that. And I had to answer. I couldn't be stuttering and making things up. And I was always afraid of being caught in a lie because I got butt whoopings. I know nowadays it's not popular for corporal punishment, but I personally needed it because there were times where I was out of pocket, I was out of line, and I needed to be reined back in. And my aunt always did it with love and affection, with control, and with always explaining the reasons behind why I would get whatever punishment that was coming to me. And before any punishment came, I was instructed first. So it's super important that if you're listening and you're a parent or you're a young person, that you not only listen to discipline, but do, have that open dialogue with children and allow for them to ask questions, to express themselves, because you need to hear how they're thinking so you can deconstruct those thoughts and help them to think better ways about life, right? If you don't hear them, you won't know what their thoughts are and you won't be able to help them. So again, strict parents, right? Breaking generational curses. Those were two of the ways that I was able to maintain my virginity. Thank you for listening. I hope this is helpful to someone, whether you're young, old, or in between, whether you're learning this for yourself or learning it from someone else. It's really important to take discipline, take counsel, listen to whoever is in charge of you as an individual so that you can understand what you should and should not do, because it's for your own good. Well, thank you for listening. Blessings and love you all.